Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, March 22nd. Most of my market haul is in today. Yay! We'll go through that in a little bit. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies right now. It primarily consists of cross stitching. I do a little bit of sewing, sometimes a little bit of quilting. I'm starting to dip my toe into that world a little bit. I also like to make greeting cards. I make, or paper craft. I like to make the greeting cards, gift card holders, gift tags, treat boxes, that kind of a thing. If you are returning, welcome back. I thank you so much for coming back and seeing what I've been up to. I feel like it's been a really long time since I sat down. It's only been a week. Lots happened. My market haul came in. I did some antiquing. And I actually got stitching done. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start with my new starts. Oh, and I got a haircut. It was time. My sister does my hair. And she was talking about how she had a couple of hours open on Thursday. And I was looking at my calendar. I don't like to take off work to get these things done. But I was looking at the calendar and she's booked up enough that when she had availability, that starts my Saturday working. So I thought, you have a couple hours, put me down, I'll see if I can get it off. And I did. So that was a fun conversation. I went to my boss. I need to take half day vacation day. I got to get my hair done. She laughed. Anyways, new starts. I've been wanting to start this for a while. A lot of people are stitching it. And it is 324 by Works by ABC. It's just something that I've been wanting to do. I did go ahead and start it, and I'm stitching it. You can stitch it in two different ways. It's using 324 floss colors, DMC. So you can stitch each of the colors, or you can do color families, so you're not using as many. So I decided to stitch each one individually. Just because I like the each color represented. The other thing to make this easy is see if I can find the one that I made a copy of. She gave you instructions on how to stitch it. Or if you want to use fewer colors, how many motifs you stitch in that color. I went ahead and I made a copy of this because I think I might want to pass the stash when I'm done with this. So I made a copy of this, and then I sat down and I picked where I wanted to start, and I wanted to start in the pinks at the top. So I went through my DMC and I pulled out my DMCs, and when I sat down to stitch, when I was done stitching a color, I made a copy of this page and then I highlighted the color that was done. That way, if I don't highlight, I know that I'm missing that color. It will go on a list, and the next time I'm at Hobby Lobby, I will pick up that color, come back and stitch it. So these are all the colors that I stitched this time. Just beautiful pinks and corals, starting to get into the reds. I am stitching this on white, and it is a white optical white linen. By I don't know who it's by. Is it Optical? Is that a fabric dyer? I don't know. It's white. And here is my start. And it's 40 count. What did I start? 40 count. So that was one evening. Once I got all of my flosses that weren't already on drops, I just sat down and I started stitching. And I will just keep moving along. I will do a few motifs every time I pick it up, because I don't want it to take 324 days. But I love it. I love the variegation, or the gradation of it. I'm just really excited to have started this one. These are the colors that I have left. And then what I will do is when these are all used, then I will come back with my key and I'll start pulling the next batch of colors. And I'll pull, I don't know, a dozen, 18, however many I want to. And I'll pull them, put them on the ring, and then when I'm done, I take them off of the ring, and I drop them in my done basket, and then they get put away when I come back out here. So that is how I'm organizing this one. I hope that makes some sense. I think that was part of the reason why it took me so long. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to organize myself. So once I landed on that, then it all came together. My next new start, Bloomin' Bunnies trio. And I wanted to start on this bunny here. I don't know that I'm going to stitch all three of them. I might do hop hop, but I don't know if I'm going to do bloom. I had picked two colors. This is stitched on 40 count Regency linen by Picture This Plus. And I did pull out kind of a greenish tone. I pulled out Star Sapphire in 32 count. I didn't really want it to be that big because 32 count, I don't know, it would have made it bigger, and I didn't really want it bigger. So then I found a 40 count it says SQ Mercedes. It's by Picture This Plus. It's a beautiful blue tone. And so this was my start. I made one switch. I kept the same floss color, but these leaves were supposed to be a very, very pale green, and it didn't show up on the fabric. But when I looked at the chart, it was just the leaves, and then the inside was this darker green. So I'm flip-flopping that. So the lighter green will go inside the chart, inside the leaves. It's hard to see on that fabric, but it does show up in person, and it does look really pretty, and I'm pleased with this fabric choice. I am using the called for DNCs. The chart calls for MPI. So you can see this color here was supposed to be the leaf color. And then this was supposed to be the veining. I just switched it. No, that's wrong. Lies. This was supposed to be the veining, and this was supposed to be the leaf color, and I switched it. So I think it's gonna be really cute when it's done. We'll see if I can get it done by Easter. I guess it depends on how often I pick it up. And then I have one more start. I pulled out 12 monthly minis, and I went ahead to start on January. I didn't have all the colors pulled for April, and I didn't want to come out here to try to pull it, so I decided to pull for January. Kind of see. And I am stitching this on one of my new linens that I got at the Pacific Stitching Retreat. 32 count Buttermilk Lugana. And let's see. This is where I'm at. So I got the tree trunks done, the hats done with the exception of the hat band, and 2.5 of the snowmen, almost 3 snowmen done. And I started on the snow on one of the trees. These do work up really, really quickly. I'm very pleased about that because I actually feel like I can get them finished. These two I stitched in one day when I was sick, so they do work up really quickly. I did notice that I was missing a stitch here when I took a picture to put the video in the beginning of the video, so I fixed that. I'm really pleased. They will be pillow finishes. I did not buy the backing fabric for these. They were all ginghams. And I didn't want to spend the money on that. And I had some ginghams and I had some other fabrics that I thought might look really cute. So I didn't bother buying that. And I think I'm going to be okay. I do have some Chelsea checks. I have since bought, I think for Christmas, the micro minis checks, like the teeny tiny checks that I can use. And I have some other fabrics that I think will work just fine. These are colors for April and January. I don't think I have all the colors for April yet, but that's what we're looking like. And that's it for new starts. There they go. Okay. This next one is in this really cute project bag that I purchased from the 805 Stitcher, and she was at the Pacific Stitching Retreat. There's a squirrel out there. This one I have all of my Brenda Jery spring charts that were released last year. And I'm currently working on Grandma's Candy Dish. And I am stitching this one on one more reproduction, 32 count by Bestitch Me. I believe this came in a kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods, maybe. And kit, I think it came with the fabric. So anyways, this is how far I got. Now I did not think that I had the purple and the pink egg color on hand, and I did, the actual called for. So I think I may pull that out because it'll be a little bit more muted like this teal color. And it won't take very long to restitch those eggs. So I will probably take those out and stitch them with the right color. But this is how far I got. So the hardest part of the bunny basket is done. When I looked at that, I thought, oh, easy peasy. No, no, not easy peasy, especially on linen. It's going to be really, really cute. I think it's going to be a pillow. We'll see. But I really do love it. These are the colors for the 2 eggs that I might replace. So I'm thinking I might go with these because it goes better with the Mountain Mist. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then in here, I also have the Hoppy Easter, and it has the fabric. And Hello Spring with fabric. So I have enough to keep me busy for a while in this cute project bag. I did pull out this week. I'm sorry, I feel like I have like dog hair. Something sticking to me. I did pull out Hometown Sal. I don't have a picture of the front of it. But if you go to Teresa Kogut, well, it's from her Patreon, so I don't know if you can even see it on her socials. You'll see what's been released so far. This is a 24-month Sal. Behind. And one of you asked about it. How's it coming? I'm like, it's not. So I pulled it out this week. And it does feel good to get some stitches in. So let me show you where I'm at. My husband walked by when I was stitching, and he was commenting about, oh, how cool that's going to look when it's done. So what I worked on, I might have to clip it. We'll see. What I worked on was finishing the top half of this house. Now it goes down a little bit further, but that's in a different release that actually did get released at the end of the year. I'm just not there yet. So I finished that, and then I started filling in the black on this house, and I started filling in the brick color. And then I added the eye to the turkey. And that was an evening of stitching. So I still have to finish this house, but that color is, I think it's this color, and so I don't have it pulled out yet. But once I'm done with that house here, and this has a chimney and another little portion of the house. When I'm done, then I'll drop down and start in down here and kind of fill in my way. And if I just make a commitment to pull it out every week, I will get caught up. I have been pulling this out when we've been off work for a holiday. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day. This is what I stitched on that whole day. I didn't, you know, whenever I started to sit down to stitch, this is what I stitched on. So it's coming along. These are the called for DMCs. Now, because this is a Sal, she's working through it. When everything is finished in December, she will get it framed, and then she will take photos, and then she will release the pattern to everybody. She has gone in and has since swapped some of these colors for overdyes. I opted just to keep stitching with these colors because that's kind of just where I'm at. I had them pulled, and I just figured just take care of business. So I put some time in on that. Thank you for asking about it, whoever you were, because I've been thinking about it, and I thought I should pull that out, and then I finally did. And I'd like to get another Quaker done, so I pulled out Summer Quaker. And this is stitched on 25 count white Lugana by Zweigart. And I bought the finishing kit, so a Chelsea's Checks fabric, the felt square for the backing, the lady dot trim rickrack, and then this is saffron dinky dyes. So it's stitched with silk. This is a little bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be, stitched on the 25 count Lugana. So now what I'm thinking is, I love these as pillows, but this is going to be very big. So now I'm thinking, instead of making it a pillow, and I might still do that, I don't know, we'll see. I may look and see what 141 Design Company or Paisleys and Polka Dots has for a backing board, and maybe I'll finish this on a board. But here is where I'm at. I just love this yellow. It's so pretty. I finished this motif and I started that motif. So I think I'm more than halfway done. I think there's antennae that come up here. Yes. But I am loving it. I kept it 2024 because I did start this in 2024. But I would love to get this done and then finished. However I'm going to finish it, whether it be a pillow or whether it be on a board. Now I've learned my lesson. I enjoy Lugana. I like linen more. I stitched the February one, the heart one. I think it's a Valentine's Day. I forget the name of it. On a much smaller count linen, I think a 40 count, and it was little and petite. I stitched the patriotic one on the called for, but I think it was a 28. So this is almost like a 14 count Ada. And I haven't stitched on a 14 count in a very long time. And I'm stitching on, I think it's a 28 count for the St. Patrick's Day. But I don't think I'm going to stitch on this size fabric again. I think I'm going to go with a smaller count for the next few. Just because I like these as small little pillows that I can tuck in. So we'll see how it turns out. I may make it up into a pillow because I do love them as pillows. We'll just see what I feel like when the time comes. And then I can have my final decision made on that. Do I like that fabric count? Do I want to go smaller? Okay, my Friday focus. I have a new Friday focus. For those of you that are new, my Friday focus is I take one of my whips that's at least 50% done, and I focus on it every Friday until it's done. So it's the only thing that I stitch on a Friday, and I stitch it until it's completed. And in 2024, I got quite a few things across the finish line. So I'm hoping to do that again this year. I am doing some holiday smalls, but I'm also focusing more on my samplers that I've been kind of like inching along with. I have several samplers that are at the 50% mark, and I'm just knocking them out. I don't know if this counts as a sampler, but I am doing Eliza's French Birds 1849 by JBW Designs. And I am stitching this one on 32 count antique ivory linen by Zweigart. And I thought, when I picked it up yesterday, and I was struggling a little bit, I had to do a little bit of frogging. When I picked it up, I thought, oh, this is going to take probably longer than what I wanted it to. And then I got through last night, and I'm like, I'm close to being done. But here's where we're at with her. So yesterday I stitched this leaf and these leaves twice because I started with the wrong color. I stitched the beak and the eye, and then I stitched all the way down here. These leaves are done, and then I started bringing up through here. So there's some more leaves over here, and berries, and there's some more leaves and berries over here, and some more leaves and berries, and then the bird, and then I'm done. This one will be framed. I'm hoping I already have a frame here, but I may have to go get one. We'll see. I kind of see this one in a gold frame, but we'll see what it looks like and if I have one. But I think she's turning out to be so pretty. Excuse me. And there's the original. So, it's just really pretty. I'm happy to be stitching this one. Maybe we'll get it across the finish line next week. Okay. I think that is it. Oof. Spring is here. My allergies are acting up. My daughter started, like, her eyes started itching last night, and then she started sneezing. So she's convinced that she's got allergies, and now I'm starting to get the itchy nose. Okay. Last weekend we were supposed to go on a retreat, and it didn't happen because of snow. So my husband kept the days off, and we spent the weekend kind of shopping and antiquing and doing fun things. And so we went to an antique store, and I had found cash that I forgot that I had squirreled away from Christmas for the Pacific Stitching Show. And we hadn't gone antiquing in a while. Now, the last video I did last Saturday, I showed you what we got on Saturday. Well, this is what we got on Sunday, because we went to a different antique store on Sunday. And I think I forget how much I like that antique store, because they have things that are different from the other stores that we typically go to. There's a place in Old Town Orange that it's a historic district, and they have several antique stores. And our favorite thing to do on a Sunday is to go and have lunch at one of the eateries, and then spend some time walking through our favorite antique stores. And there's like 3 that are our favorites. There used to be a lot more over there, but they're getting kind of bought out by and turned into restaurants or different kinds of stores. And there's a college at the end of, the road. So it's a college town, and, a lot of college kids probably hang out there on the weekends. Actually, a lot of college kids wind up antiquing, which is, you see them in the stores, and that's kind of fun. But it makes sense that there'd be a lot of restaurants taking over, because they've got, a captive audience. The kids have to eat. They go and party, so it makes sense that that's happening. But it makes me sad, because I love my antique stores. Anyways, we went to this one that's in Long Beach, and I don't know the name of it. But I wandered around and I found a couple things. 2 things I did not bring out here. I found Lefton bells, Christmas bells. I will insert pictures. They are, about this tall, and they're the sweet little girls or angels with wings. So one of them was holding like a tree and a basket, and the other one is, what is the other one doing? She's a caroler, so she's got her hands in a muff. Very, very sweet, really good condition. One of them that I bought, we were driving home and I was looking it up on eBay, and it was selling on eBay for $80 more than what I bought it for. So I think I got a really good deal. At least I feel like I got a really good deal. It's in decent shape. They're darling. I've wanted them for a while, like something like that. So I got it. Anyways, and then I was looking for, I always look for glassware. I don't think I found any glassware. And then I was going through, and they had a couple of booths that had tons and tons of buttons. So I went through and I found some vintage white buttons. So I picked up 2 packs, and I picked them up because with the keeper of the pin, she has one that has a bunch of buttons, and I don't have vintage buttons. I mean, they might be in my button thing up there, but I wouldn't know which ones are vintage because they do look like what you can buy at the store now. But these definitely have some age on them. You can tell. And I bought them at an antique store. So in my head, that means they must be antique. So I picked up a couple of these, and now I can do that pillow with the buttons. It was $5 total for that. So I was like, that's a deal. And then I was telling my husband what kind of frame I was looking for. And I had found one of these at another antique store in a different city, not too far away. And I passed it up because it was very rickety. And I thought, how am I going to stabilize that? And it was a little pricier than what I wanted to spend. And I regret buying it. So I was telling my husband at lunch, I said, I'm looking for this kind of frame. And I pulled it up and I showed him. And so I'm walking through the store. I actually dropped something. It did not break, but man, it caused a ruckus. It's a Fire King thing I had never seen before, and I picked it up, and I just had the dropsies, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to keep your hands to yourself. You're not going to touch anything. But anyways, he comes over and he finds me, and he's like, is this what you wanted? And I'm like, yes. It's a little simpler in design than what I thought I would find, and I can get another one later that's more ornate. But I love it for its simplicity. It is one of these frames that can tilt, but it doesn't really hold. So I'm hoping it has screws on the side. So I'm hoping that I can tighten those screws up a little bit and stabilize it. And it's a little rickety down here, but I think I can fix it. And then they spray, I don't know if it was spray painted or painted. But it's definitely got that Art Deco look, which I absolutely love. It's worn, it's loved or forgotten, however you want to look at it. It's got a nail here. I'm going to turn around this way. So it's got a nail here that needs to come out, and a nail up here that needs to come out. You can see it's separating a little bit up here. But I love it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in it, but he found it. $15. The last one I saw was like 45 or 55 or something like that. So I said, yes, please. So then I kept walking around, and I found a booth. I don't know what booth he got it from, but I was walking around and I found a booth that had some vintage frames, and there were a couple of them. And I found this one. Actually, it's got the backing on the, so it was a landscape. But again, I think Art Deco, kind of in rough shape, but not so bad. You can tell right here that I wouldn't justify using it. I can also paint it out because I don't know that it matters so much, although I do like the dark and kind of inlay color. I don't know, Kim from Contented Needleworker, Kim, she does a lot with vintage frames. So I may be reaching out, Kim, but I love it. I'm so pleased. $10. So I was happy with my finds, and I think that's all I got from that store. If I see anything when I go in the house, take pictures of my little left-in bells, then I will include a photo, but I think that's all that we got at that trip. Because the bells were expensive enough. I mean, literally, it used the rest of my cash, and I got like $10 back or something like that. So I felt like I got my money's worth. You've seen this. I picked up an extra bunny at Hobby Lobby. $5, 40% off. Nicole Spohr took hearts and did felt flowers on a painted heart. I thought I could do the same thing with the bunny, paint it, and then flowers and bows, ribbons around the neck. And then I saw a video where someone like decoupaged really pretty, like shabby chic paper. I have a ton of paper. I'm sure I've got something that would be darling, and then I could do something around the neck and be really cute. So I bought another one of these. And then I picked up some more floss drops, and I needed more project bags. I use the mesh bags. I get them on Amazon. They're linked in my Amazon shop. If you're interested, you can go ahead and check it out. These are what size? I think they're 13 by 9, 13 by 10, something like that. I think it's an A3 size. And they fit perfectly for project bags, and they fit nicely into the baskets. I do have some that are bigger, but these are really, really nice, and it holds everything. They're waterproof, so they don't get dirty. They don't get, if something spills on them, on the project bag, it doesn't ruin what's inside. So I really, really like it. Market haul. I'm still waiting for one package. I guess they had a cutoff date for combining shipping, so I've got one more package coming from Lindy's Stitches, and it's my Blackbird charts, and I'm sure that you've all seen them, and I think I ordered a couple other things. I think there's 4 things coming in that the Classic Colorworks thread that was released, the Blackbird charts, and then one other chart. So it's coming. I ordered from Farm Girl Dry Goods. Most of my stuff came from Lindy's Stitches, and then I did pick up a few things from Primrose Cottage. Let's just start at the top. What's on top for me? I've never bought anything like this before, but I picked up these little bobbins, and I think they're adorable. I see like yellow or a pale pink wrapped around this, and then floss or ribbon or something, and then it's stuck in a basket as just a little added interest. I also see the strawberries painted, but I don't know how that'll work. I think they would be very sweet with like a very light reddish pink wash on it. And then my daughter's like, yeah, but I think they look cool like they are. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. I won't ruin them. But I bought these to go into like bowls or baskets or something like that. I picked up 3 new fabrics. At least I think they're new. Peach of My Heart, I got 36 count linen from Fiberlicious. So it is a beautiful pinky peach color. It looks peach here, but it really is much more vibrant in person. So I picked up that. Let's see if I can get a more accurate color depiction. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit more accurate. Very, very pretty. More on the peach side than the pink side. Bright. Not sure what I'm going to stitch on it, but I'm sure I'll find something. I love it. And then I picked up a 32 count Belfast linen by Fiber on a Whim in the color Dolomite. So kind of along the same fabric family, but more rustic, a little bit more mellow. So definitely a pinky red tone with some brown in it. But again, I love it. And then I picked up another 32 count small potatoes. 32 count small potatoes, Belfast linen by Lappin' Loops. So another very nice neutral in a 32 count. This is Zweigart based. I really like it a lot. It's hard to see the modeling. So that's the fabric that I got. I also picked up, this is a thread pack for one of the charts. I did not get the chart, but I liked these threads together, and I know that they're not new, but I really wanted to have these together because I thought there might be a project that I want for these to be together for. So it's Bing Cherry and Pickled Beets by Classic Colorworks, and then Raspberry and Blackberry by Weeks. So I picked up these 4 colors, kind of see. They look really, really good together. Vintage florals would be really pretty with these. I picked up from Puntini these pins. I thought they were really cute. And then this is not a market release, but I saw it and I thought I need to try it. The Sweet and Sharp Macaron in Raspberry. Place the needle on the magnetic surface without the clover logo. To sharpen the needle, insert the needle into the macaron and move the needle back and forth motion to apply the sharpening feature. Let's open it, shall we? I didn't even open it. So it's little. So it's teeny, teeny, tiny. There's the clover logo. So you put it there and then you, I guess, stick it inside the middle and move it back and forth, and that sharpens the needle. I don't know what's in there. Guess it's a magnet. So maybe it's a needle minder too. I don't know. It must be because it's sitting on top. Anyways, we'll try it. So stay tuned for that if you've never tried it before. If you have, let me know what you think. I picked up a fat quarter bundle from Primrose Cottage. Enchanted Easter is what they're calling this. And I picked it up because of the soft greens and beiges. And I thought that they would make a really cute pillow backing. But then I got it and I thought, I think I need to make a project bag. Let's see these bunnies here. Just so sweet. And a good mix. I don't know if they still have this one available. I don't even know if all of their bundles come from the same company. And I love this gingham. I love a good neutral gingham. So versatile. And then there's this one. And then the same thing in a cream background. So I'm debating on this one. What do I want to do? I suppose I could have enough to do both, but whatever. Cookbook. I haven't even looked at the recipes. I just looked at the stitching. A lot of them do not have pictures, so I'm not going to show you a bunch of them. I can show you a couple. Like if you've seen the Teresa Kogut one, that's hers. I love it. These are good for smalls. This one. My primitive gatherings. Looks like it's a wool felt applique. Cute little pumpkin. Oh, that's cute. I didn't see that one before. By Robin Pickens, Berries. So, really, you know, just like the others, I mean, I don't know what the first one looks like. I've only seen this one, but really very similar to the others. Okay, this is a cat. They don't have a picture, but look. So cute. Okay, charts in no particular order. And I'm going to start with two that I don't think came out in market. I think they came out before. And I just had to have them. Lucky O'Green and Maggie O'Green. And I see these finished. I think Nettie, the mom from Primrose Cottage, is it Nettie? She's been stitching all of these and finishing them like the animal crackers, so they're like little dolls. And I saw these and I thought, yes. How cute would they be in my displays for St. Patrick's Day? So I picked them up. And even though it's not a market purchase, I think I'm going to have to start these soon. So I'm going to set those aside because I need to kit those up. We got a freebie from the Blue Flower irises. And then in no particular order, I did pull out my top 10, but in no the rest of them are in no particular order. Twin Peak Primitives, I picked up Bunnies' favorite. So much I like about this. First of all, the camera angle. I love how the stitches look chunky and like they're really elevated off the linen. I love that look, and I never feel like my stitches look like that. Excuse me, look like that. I love the design. I love the colors. And I love the finish of this. I don't know. It must be a box because they've got a tassel here and a bow back here. So it must be a hinged lid on a box. But I can see this finished as a drum as well. Or even around like an ornament so that it's, you know, sits up like this. Those are strawberries. I mean, and a butterfly. Not a lot of words. Should be an easy stitch. So I'm very excited for that. The chart is in color and in black and white, so you can stitch it however you want to. It was stitched on 14 count Aida or 32 count linen in iced blue. And it finishes to like almost a 7 by 6.5, a little less. So, I mean, it's decent size, but it's darling. Of course, by Hands-On Design, there's a Hair in My Garden. Now you look at that and you think, oh, handheld, you know, hand size berry. No, it's 10 inches long. And then it's finished like a berry with a berry top, but I'm actually considering making felt greens like a carrot because it's a bunny and there's carrots and it's shaped like a carrot just as much as it is a berry. And then if you go to her Instagram, I believe, they also had it finished in the pomegranate color, which is what was designed or dyed for the Ladybug Picnic. And it's adorable too. But I did order some of this. This is a 20 count milk chocolate linen by Fabrics by Steph. So I'm waiting for it to come. If you stitch it on a 20 count, you can use 4 strands of DMC, or you can use a pearl cotton 5, number 5. And it's 1 skein of each color, except for $4.69 you need 2, and I think that's the brown color. I love that. This would have been in my top 10 and to stitch if I had the pearl cotton. I do think I want to do pearl cotton just because I've never stitched with it before. So I want to give it a try. So if I had the floss and if I had the fabric, this would be an immediate start. Then I picked up Harriet by Stacy Nash Designs. She's so cute. Look at the back. And look at the inside of her little needle book. She's adorable. And then I picked up Strawberry Thieves pin keeps. I think it's the blues and the pinks and the fact that there's strawberries and this thing here. It is so good. So cute. And if you look at the back, that's what it says on the inside of that thread keep or the needle book. Oh, so sweet. So yeah, I debated on this. This was not one that dropped into my basket right away. I kept going back and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And then I watched Nicole Spohr, and when she said that she loved it, I'm like, yeah, I think I love it too. So I bought it. And I'm glad that I did. I loved this little one. This is Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery Spring Garden at Cranberry Manor. It looks small. If you stitch it on 36 count, it finishes to 6.5 by 6. So it's a small one, and I just look at the squirrels and the bird. 2 birds. The house is darling. The color palette is beautiful. So I thought, yeah. And then I picked up also from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitching Honeybee Sampler. All the motifs I absolutely love. This is stitched on 36 count arrowroot by Roxy Floss Co. And the floss is Roxy Floss Creme Brulee. It takes 3 skeins. I think the color palette is very unique to me. I really am drawn to that color palette. I don't know if I'll stitch it in that color because I also see it in more of a mustard color. But I love the motifs. I mean, the bee skep, the bee, the flowers, another bee. Oh my gosh. Look at how cute it is. So yeah, I had to pick that up. Then from Beverly McCullough, Flamingo Toes, Song Sparrows, cross stitch pattern. It screams spring to me. I had to have it. This one is stitched on Lori Holt 14 count Ada in Country Cream. I think it reminds me of a Lori Holt design. I don't know, does Flamingo Toes collaborate with Lori Holt? She could, I guess. This Cherry Blossoms I did not see on Lindy's Stitches, so I ordered these from Primrose Cottage, and this is the vintage hair. The fabric color, the theme, the egg-shaped, I mean, what else is there? This one is stitched on 32 count Juniper Belfast linen. I think I have Juniper. I know I do. 2 threads over 2. 32 count. It finishes to 7 1/4 by 9 inches. So decent size. And then the trimming is Lady Dot Creates hand-dyed Ocala blue pom-poms, and the wooden vintage egg backer is available at cherryblossomquilting.com. So, yeah. That's so cute. Also from Cherry Blossoms, I picked up Mistletoe Kisses. 32 count, stitched on 32 count Silver Fox, hand-dyed Belfast linen by Fiber on a Whim. And 32 count finishes to 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. Trimmed with pink hand-dyed pom-poms by Lady Dot Creates and white rickrack. And then the wooden snow globe backer is available at Cherry Blossoms Quilting. And then she gives the item number for both of those backing pieces, so that you can just type in the number on our website. I love the color of the fabric. I love the color of the flosses. Really cute. It doesn't scream Christmas to me as much as it does winter, and I'm looking to add more winter pieces, so I do love this. It's really cute. And then also through Primrose, I picked up from Luhu Stitches, You My Love. Hold the Key to My Heart. This is stitched on 32 count Country French Latte linen. 4 colors. Nope. 3 colors. Schoolhouse Red and Geranium from Gentle Arts, I believe. And then Winter White from DMC, 3865. It does not give a finishing size, but and does it give a thread? stitch count. It does not give a stitch count, but I thought a really nice Valentine's stitch or anniversary stitch. I don't know if I would keep the reds. I might go more pinks. Make it a little softer, but I loved the design. From Farm Girl Dry Goods, I got all the new Brenda Jery releases that I wanted. I think I left one or two on the table. I didn't pick those up, and I'm not sure why, because when I'm seeing people talk about them, or if they showed the sample from Market, I'm like, ooh, I probably should have bought that. But anyway, Spring Swan, of course, because I'm hooked on the swans. Haven't finished one yet, but I started the winter one. And then the Earth Laughs. This is the spring Quaker. Oh, I just noticed little bunnies at the top. Oh my gosh. And then I picked up Spring Trio. And I just did the charts. I didn't do kits. And then I also picked up, and I don't know if this was a release. I think it was a new release for Market, but I'm not 100% sure. But from Samplers Not Forgotten, I picked up Autumn Abundance Kit. Now, in this photograph, I thought that was like a charcoal gray ribbon and charcoal gray fabric. And it's not. It's all like this olivey green. It's a full kit. It comes with the fabric to stitch, the floss, the finishing ribbon, the backing, and a charm here that goes on the top. Okay. Now we're down to the top 10. So these are my top 10. Kind of in an order from 10 to 1. Lemon Tear by Erin Elizabeth. I've been seeing these frames at Hobby Lobby for a while now, and I've wanted to stitch something to go into it, and this is perfect. This one is stitched on 14 count Ale Ada by Picture This Plus. I will probably look to see the finishing size is 4.5 by 6 1/4, roughly. So I may stitch it on a 14 count, or I may go a little smaller. We'll see. But I thought it was really pretty. I do have a lemon theme for my tiered tray, so I thought this would be really cute for it. Coco's Garden by Teresa Kogut. I loved this basket the first time I saw it. And look at the inside cover of her. She thinks of everything. I'm a little jealous. Colored chart, beautiful. Bumblebee Etchings by Heart and Hand. I think I'm being drawn to the yellows and the golds. I think that started last year, and it has continued because I have 3 charts that have a bee theme with the yellows and the golds. I've seen these done up really little. I've seen them done up big. I don't know. I have the floral etchings from last year. This one. I don't have this one, but I have this one. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I love it. Puntini, Spring Animals Trio. I mean, yes, their faces are so sweet. I mean, look at that bunny. So cute. Summer Trio from Brenda Jery. I put this in my top 10 because I would stitch this first before I would probably start the spring. But I love the strawberries and the birds. And then Liberty, the summer or patriotic. The bald eagle. I'm watching, I'm keeping my eye on the Friends of Big Bear Valley. That's the town that my husband's family lived for a very long time. But they have a bald eagle nest, and the last 3 years they've lost all their eggs. Nothing hatched, and the year before that they had 2 babies, and one died, and one fledged, like grew up and fledged. Well, now we had 3 eggs. One died during this past winter storm last week. So we have 2 babies left, and they're thriving. So it's very exciting. We're all very excited. We're all watching it. They're on the news daily. Hop into spring. I even love this backing board. I wasn't sure at first, but I think it's a yes. I think it's a must. I think you paint these. I don't know that I would paint it the red color. I might paint it a different color. But I love it. Again, yellows, butterflies, the Artsy Housewife, a study in garden fairies. I want this for my bathroom. I just love it. And Lily, new animal cracker. I am going to have to start her, so she's going to go in the kit up pile immediately. She's a frog. Look at her. And of course, Ladybug Picnic is my number 1. I love the fabric. I have the fabric. It's so darling. I do think I have this one kitted. Just waiting for the chart. I have it with the Bumblebee one that released last year with that fabric and those flosses. They were just going to be in the same project bag together. I will double check, and I'm going to start her. And I'm going to start the bee too. So I'm going to be working on both of them simultaneously. And we've all seen it. We love it, right? And that's all that's come in so far. Like I said, I have the Blackbird designs coming, the classic Colorworks thread coming, and one other chart I can't remember. So that is my haul. Keep adding to my curated collection. And as my mother says, well, you're going to need something to do when you quit your job. You're not going to be able to shop. And my husband, he's like, you use everything you buy. It takes you a while, but you do use it. I'm like, I do. So, so that's it. What was your favorite? Did you find something here that you hadn't seen before? I think a lot of people bought this one. I think a lot of people bought the animal crackers. Probably the Brenda Jery they're always very popular. But is there anything here that was unexpected? Let me know what your favorites are. If you purchase, if you don't purchase, You know, there's no right or wrong reason. I get caught up, and I think what it is that, you know, there are some Brenda Jery charts out there that I can't get my hands on, and so I panic a little bit because if I like it that much and I think about it that much, I have to have it. So I just buy them. There's nothing wrong with collecting, as long as it's neat and tidy and it doesn't interfere with anybody. It's not hurting anybody. So, that is it for me. This week coming up, I think I have a couple later days, not into the evening so much, but I think I might be going a little bit later on a couple of days. I might have one early evening Zoom meeting. The weather is warming up, so we're very nice this weekend, almost like early summer temperatures, but we are expected to get back into normal next week, so it'll be a little chillier, and that's okay. It's staying lighter later. That makes us happy. Spring has started, so we're moving along. I think I should be able to get quite a bit of stitching done this week. So I'm excited. I should have some new starts and move some other pieces along. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, I think that is it for me. I hope you have a great week. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye.